of a chilly morning, 50 degrees. Nice to be back into the woods after a short road walk. My stay at the hostel was fabulous. Probably one of my favorites. The vibe, the energy was laid back and restful. The people were amazing, both the staff and the other hikers. Great conversations, really warm and welcoming, and yeah, exactly what I've been looking for. I think this means I'm officially in the Shenandoahs. I don't know. I purchased my permit online last night. $15, easy registration, and unlike the Smokies, I don't have to carry a paper copy, which is really nice. I'm giving up looking at the camera. It's just too hard, and then I find that I don't even look at my phone. I want to share a story about how the trail provides. I react to bug bites. I get very itchy, histamine response, and I was hoping to have some anti-itch cream sent from home, but can't find it. So I was gonna buy some, and yet I went through a hiker box and there was some anti-itch cream. It expired, so I don't know if it'll work, but the trail provides. I've been thinking a lot about my gear today, actually in the last couple of days, because I'm finding there are certain things that I'm not using at all. And one of them is my lightweight Patagonia Capeline base layer. It's usually what I sleep in on cooler nights, and when I swapped it out from my Smart Wool 250 base layer, I did use it a couple of times, but I find that I mostly just sleep in my hiking clothes, and unless they're soaked, I don't see that changing, especially as the temperatures get warmer. But I do feel like I need something in case my hiking clothes do get wet. And I'm playing around with some ideas of multi-use things, like maybe a sun shirt that I could use, because as I mentioned just a second ago, bugs bother me. So I need something long sleeve if I'm gonna hang out at camp to protect myself from the bugs, and a sun shirt might work for that. And then it could be multi-purpose. I could sleep in it if I needed to. So that's an option for the top. And as far as the bottom goes, I just don't know. I don't like hiking in pants. Maybe I'll just send the bottom layer home, and if I have to, sleep in my underwear. Not a big deal for me, but at camp, you know, what do I do if I want to hang out in the shelter? So I don't know. I could wear my rain skirt. I could find a different pair of pants. That's what I'm pondering. And so in the spirit of the trail provides, I'm sending it out into the universe that either I'll have a conversation that's regarding gear and somebody gives me an idea, or I'll stumble into a hiker box that has an option for me that I can test out. I'm surprised that I'm considering swapping gear in the middle of a hike, because I thought I did so much over the last 3 years, 4,000 miles of testing things. Thought for sure I had it dialed in, but it's just different. The thru-hike is different, and so I want to play around with it a little bit, and I have to do so mindfully. I have to consider finances and also how to get it to me. There's that aspect of it, and what to do with the gear that I have that I'm not using. There's always a hiker box, but the stuff that I have are things that I've dialed in and I love, and so I'd probably choose to send them home. Another thing that I have been thinking about this morning is food. I don't know if you saw the sandwich and salad that I made yesterday, but it was delicious. And although in real life I struggle with dairy protein, specifically casein, I have been craving really fatty type things. Like that sandwich had Gouda on it, and it was on really overly processed Walmart bread with brominated oils and other junk, but it was so soft. Not a good thing in one way, but in the other way, it's perfect. And I had this giant roast beef and Gouda with fresh tomato, and then later on I used the Gouda to make a grilled cheese. And today I have the leftover roast beef and Gouda and the bread for lunch, and maybe even dinner, because in 24 hours I'll have eaten the entire loaf of bread all by myself. But I'm feeling like I need to incorporate more of those things, and yet I'm going down some rocks. And yet I'm afraid that my digestion isn't going to like it. And really what happens specifically is that I get inflammation, and I'm already dealing with some inflammation. So I'm going to maybe add in a little dairy here and there and see how it goes in the form of hard cheeses, which has the most of those proteins. The softer cheeses I do better with. Yogurt I do better with. And goat cheese I do better with. But I may be adding those in, and I'm craving more of the salty meats as well. Ooh, look at this. It's like an entire city out there. I wonder what it is. Rocks. Oh my goodness, look at this. I think it looks like a wild rose. Huh. And these are the purple flowers that I mentioned the other day that I just didn't see again. I've seen a lot of these over the last couple of weeks. And the flip side of the dietary switches is that I'm really trying to use my resupply boxes. It's, based on nutrition, but also cost savings. So the more food I buy on trail and I don't eat from my boxes, the more expensive this hike is. Which brings me to Shenandoah. There are a lot of waysides and opportunities for sandwiches and things like that. I don't know how much I'll participate in that. I'm carrying enough food to get me through, so I don't have to. And part of that is it's like a self manipulation, because if I'm carrying it and I don't eat it, I'm carrying this extra weight. And if I eat it, I won't be hungry, so I won't spend the money on the extra food. And that's really what I would prefer, although I want to be moderate in that and allow myself for some treats, because why not? It's important for me. And the one treat that I'm really looking forward to is a blackberry milkshake. People have been talking about it. The waysides have blackberry milkshakes, and I've been seeing all these blackberry bushes, and so blackberry milkshake. I have 2 days of hiking before I'll stumble upon a wayside, so 2 days to think about blackberry milkshakes. Speaking of blackberries, I had blackberries for breakfast. I had them, where's the sun? I had them alongside of the blueberry pancakes that the hostel was serving. And although I am being more mindful of staying away from the processed foods, I did not do the corn syrup with maple flavoring on my pancakes. I'm trying to find balance there. So I had the pancakes slathered with peanut butter and some Greek yogurt on top for protein, and with a side of delicious blackberries. So what do snakes and quantum physics have in common? Morphic resonance. All right, bear with me. I received a comment on either Facebook or Instagram. I post videos on YouTube, but all my pictures I post on Instagram, and then they go to Facebook. And so someone noticed that I'm seeing more snakes, and I am. The weather's warmer, and so it's expected. But we had a conversation last night at in the living room about snakes and their rattling, and that in the areas where snakes are hunted, they stop rattling because, word gets out and not a good idea to show where you are because somebody's going to kill you. And the idea of morphic resonance is that, in the way that I learned it, which is just through a book called The Intention Experiment, I think, on quantum physics, is that it's inner species evolution, so that if the snakes in one area are learning not to rattle, even if snakes in another area are not being hunted, the generations below them will not rattle anymore. And I find that fascinating.